I'm going to have timestamps for this video, so if you're just interested in the final results, go ahead and skip to the end of the video. But I am really excited for this. I have been exploring a lot of different frameworks over the last couple of months, and the reason is because StateAdapt, ideally, it's the state management library I created, and ideally I want to make it supported in Svelte and Solid, React, all the libraries. It's kind of supported already in React, but it could improve quite a bit. So, but my plan is right now to come back to these StateAdapt comparison videos where I go through a project and convert it from one state management library into StateAdapt. And I will do a bunch of Angular ones next, and then I will do some React ones, and then Svelte, and then Solid, and then Quick, if there are state management libraries at that point that are compatible. So today's is RxAngular versus StateAdapt. I'm starting with a project that was written in RxAngular, RxState, and I'm going to convert it into StateAdapt. And I'm going to be using a couple of the libraries still from RxAngular because it's not just a state library, it's also like directives that lets you put fine-grained DOM updates. I don't know exactly how it works, but it lets you run without triggering Angular's change detection, I think. So I'm pretty excited, and I hope that this gets more and more popular, RxAngular, because this should have been in Angular a long time ago, I feel like. So I'm really excited to see how StateAdapt does with on top of this. And I'm mainly interested in seeing the exact difference in syntax and how they're used, because I designed StateAdapt to be as ideal as possible, as ideal as I could come up with. And so far, there hasn't been a project I've used it in where it hasn't been less code than the alternative. And I've tried it in maybe 20 projects so far. So yeah, pretty excited to try it for this one. This one is the Todo MVC. It's a very popular demo, and this is using Angular with RxAngular/state. It's persisted in local storage. Not too much asynchronous stuff here, but it still has non-trivial functionality. Compared to like a regular to-do app, I guess. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It is pretty small though. But RxAngular is, I'll show you the syntax. I gotta find it first. I will zoom in a second. I'm just gonna quickly find it. So we got app. So to do state, just the interface and stuff. Right, so here is the main file I'll be working in. Let's go crazy here. Is that zoomed in enough? Let's see if I can do one more. Whoa. Let's see if I can do one more. All right, this should be extremely easy to read on mobile. So, all right, I'm kind of trying to focus on that, but all right, so RxAngular is really cool. It is the most reactive library I've seen for Angular aside from StateAdapt. And the reason I say aside from StateAdapt is because there are still a few imperative statements. Like technically this is imperative, although I didn't count this type of thing as imperative when I was counting the statements in all the different comparison, projects I was doing with the different libraries, because it's close enough to like it's this is all kind of together. But technically it is imperative. I think the best way to measure imperative is how far a line of code is from what it's changing. And but other than that, there's like some imperative style of programming here, and we'll see what to do with that. But I want to make this a fair comparison where I don't like refactor everything and get rid of comments like this. And I just sort of try to keep it pretty similar in style, except definitely StateAdapt. So I may end up getting rid of these because right here, StateAdapt's official philosophy. Keep code declarative by introducing reactivity instead of imperative code. Don't write callback functions. That's the one. And then people are like, why? Or not why, but how? And I say, wrap imperative APIs with declarative ones. A lot of people might object to this getting rid of the remove, because this is kind of a good practice, right? Decoupling things, allowing for future flexibility. But the kind of flexibility this allows for is imperative flexibility. So these curly braces, they're like arms open and inviting imperative statements. So the trick for me is to do side effects downstream inside of a tap operator if you can't make a declarative API and do it there. So I'm kind of feeling weird about this because my recording app, the OBS, it's like the video is like 2 seconds delayed. And so I don't know if the sound and video are in sync or not. So anyway, let's get StateAdapt installed. Okay, this is very zoomed in, but I'm going to do npm install save StateAdapt core RxJS and Angular. All right, and I can kind of have these be side by side. Man, this font is humongous, but I can have these be side by side and I think I can just do ng serve now and just do things as I go. Okay, I'm going to do them side by side because I can, and then I'm going to remove RxAngular at the very end. But let's see how to get started because I do not remember. All right, so we've got this default provider. I'm just gonna copy this part. Okay, so we need to go to, let's see, where do I go for this? Is this like there's an app component? Yeah, I need to do it here. All right, so where are the providers? Are they not? How does this work? It's not providers, RxState. I think I need to provide it in the app component for what I'm doing. All right. Oh no. Is there a prettier in this project? No editor config. Is it going to respect this? I don't. I'm going to go ahead and make one commit where I just go through and save each file. What did that change actually? Just some HTML. Yeah. That is so weird. Okay. Good for you, prettier. Yeah, I'm just going to say, oh, it didn't change this at all, did it? All right. Good. Nothing there. Let's just see how this turns out. Any changes? Well, TodoComponent. Okay. I really don't care about this, so I'm gonna put all of this in the same commit. It's just gonna be add StateAdapt clean up. Okay, that is done. All right, let's close this. Okay, we don't go here. Okay, so we got to-do list component. Okay, how do we start this? I'm just going to look at the file from top to bottom. So this is a standalone component. It's got its own providers, including to-do service. And I guess that means it's not provided in root. Nope. Okay. And Okay, I don't know how I feel about this pattern. I'll just see. Is ngDoCheck a good way to measure how many change detection cycles there have been? I don't know if it is. I thought it was, but I saw something on Twitter suggesting it wasn't at some point. So I can explore that part later. That's not the point of this video. The RxAngular stuff of zone lists, that's not really the point of this video. I'm just going to change the change detection or the state management stuff and not really care about anything else. So yeah. And I'm going to try not to change this file because I could change this. I mean, this could be just pure function stuff right here. Except for this, which I mean, there's a way to get this done declaratively, I think, but yeah, I'm not going to touch the component. I think I'm going to leave the component alone as much as possible, and just focus on the state service itself. Okay, so I'm going to organize these. So, okay, so we got to-do state, ID number, text string, done Boolean, to-dos, and that's a to-do, that's that. And then to-do filter, that is a union, string union. Okay, so that's a filter and that's a list. Okay, makes sense. All right, done, true, false. All right, that is comprehensible. This is an individual component for an individual to do. This is probably the edit component. Input, yep. And this is the list. That's what I was just looking at. Okay. I think I'm going to be spending the entire time in this file pretty much. All right, I zoomed out just for a second here so I can give an overview of what this file structure is. So at the top, they define commands as an interface. And RxAngular, this might be new. I didn't see this when I looked into it, but this commands thing, it's like you can create commands, and then when you import RxAngular, you use those commands as the interface, and so they become available as observables. So you can .next onto them, and that's the command, and then you react to the commands by connecting that. So up here you've got you set up these actions, and then these are basic state selectors. And you've got derived state here. You've got an exposed view model, which I do not really care for. That's kind of what selectors can do for you. But it can be convenient. People do see convenience in that. I was commenting on Ryan Carniato's YouTube video from a couple weeks ago, and we were going back and forth about whether ArcGIS was fine-grained reactivity or not. And he said no, or it tends not to be, because people tend to combine latest in order to get convenience in templates. And I was like, okay, good point. So I wish that Angular templates made it convenient to not do stuff like this. I wish it was convenient to use observables directly. I think Svelte is a good example in that. So anyway, so we've got state handlers. These are connecting actions to actual state changes. So it's a mixture of, well, this is like the reducers. This is like NGRX or Redux reducers. And then you've got the side effect handler that basically is like take state, set it into local storage. And where do we grab it from local storage? Use this initialize function at the bottom, and it just grabs it and does that. I'm going to be getting rid of this, and I'm probably getting rid of these callback functions. And that's the end of that's the entire structure of the file. So where should I start? I think I'm just going to start by going top to bottom and adding stuff to the class. and not disrupting any of the Angular stuff, RxAngular stuff. And I will just put my stuff next to it. And this is extending RxState, but I don't think it cares what I add to it. So let's start by making the adapter. Private read-only. I also don't care for the read-only attribute. If you work with someone who reassigns an observable property, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Should I just call this adapter, or should I initialize with the store already? Well, question is, how many adapters should I do? Should I do really fine-grained and show off my join adapters function, or do it all at once? I think I'm going to do it fine-grained. So I'm going to do adapter equals create adapter, and it's going to be filter. Is this a type? Yes. All right. So this is I don't even think I need to do anything for that. Let's call this you know what? I can do this in line. Okay. I'm going to do adapter equals join adapters. What is the state called? To do state. And we're going to have filters. Or is it just filter? It's just filter. Why does it keep asking me this? It didn't used to ask me that stupid pop-up on macOS. Okay, and then to-dos will be adapter to-do. What's this one? It's just to-do array. Okay, all right. So, all right. Let's just close that off. So this is a builder, so you can pass more and more functions into it, and it will allow you to chain selectors and stuff like that. All right, so these are already built into this syntax. So let's do something interesting. So we're gonna call this filtered to-dos. And so this will be using stuff. So let's see, filtered to-dos. What is that? I don't even know. Okay, so this stands for both state and selectors and that's why I just call it S, because you see it all the time. It's annoying. You don't know if you should type state for derived state or selectors, because you interact with it like it's derived state, because it's actually a proxy object, and then it uses it to create selectors, and it's more efficient than regular like create selector calls in other libraries. At least I think it is. I haven't really done a lot of tests, but it should be. Okay, so we're going to select slice, we're going to filter and to-dos, and we're going to map so returning the to-dos filtered. Okay, so actually state that. Okay, so why? Oh, I didn't create selectors. They should be available. Hang on, what's going on here? All right, I figured out that was annoying. Turns out I have to pass in an empty selectors object for some reason. I need to fix this in StateAdapt, but whatever. It's just a kind of minor inconvenience. It's not really going to affect anything. Whatever. Anyway, so now that has that correct. So, okay. So we're going to return the to-dos and filter them. Filter. And how does it filter? It's just got done. And I can just copy this. Could have just copied the whole thing. What? Oh. How do you do this? Is it? Yes. Okay, good. S dot. All right, there we go. So here's something interesting about this behavior. If I were to just return true here, this selector would never even be created. Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, it wouldn't be called ever. Whereas with the regular like create selector function, it calls the input selectors, and then if they change, it runs the function again. But with this, if it never reaches this, it doesn't matter if it changes. So that's one way it's more efficient, I guess. All right, so that's a combined selector there. So that's derived state. I will not remove this. Everything's going to be in one place, so there will be some scrolling. But anyway, so we got completed to-dos as filter according to done. All right, this will be, okay, how do they, oh, it's just a Boolean. So active to-dos and completed to-dos. This can be done here. Active to-dos. What? Oh, this is actual state, so I wouldn't mind. Filter by done. Done. Okay. Wait. That's that, and I think completed was first, so let me, there we go. Completed to-dos. Not done. Is that right? So completed. Oh, it's done. What am I doing? Why? This shouldn't be hard. Okay. I don't know what I was doing there. All right, then we've got the exposed view model, so whatever that is. Okay. What happens when I save this? How does prettier? Okay, it makes it prettier. Okay, so I guess selectors are done. Is that it? Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's do the initial state and the store creation now. All right, so I'll just call it store equals adapt. And we got the path. We're going to call it to-dos. Initial state we'll get from local storage in a second. And then adapter. Yep. Okay, now how do we get initial state? Now this silly initialize function, we'll just go, I'm not deleting anything quite yet. So I'm just adding this on. And then we'll do stats at the end. So, okay, so we're getting something from local storage, and this is in two places. So if, okay, so first I'm going to do this. I'm going to call this, wait, yeah, sure, okay. So, okay, and I think I can just do this. Oops, equals item. It doesn't matter. Oops. Okay, this not stored state. Else it's just going to be this. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, and now we can pass that in. We're going to do some reactions after this, so I'm just going to handle that here and open an object for our state changes. Anyway, so that takes care of initial state. Let's save and see. Okay. Initialize. So this happens in the constructor. Where to go? Right here. This happens in the constructor, so it's the same as if it runs up here. Okay. basically, right? I think. I don't remember. In this case, it'll be the same, so whatever. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's the same. Of course it is. Okay. So we got super initial state. I think initial state's good. We've got this side effect handler here. This is not a lot of work. This isn't going to take very long at all. All right. What's next? State changes? Or state reactions, whatever I call them. All right. Let's go for that. So for this one, these are kind of far away. All right, this will be the fun part. Should I use these utilities or not? Because RxAngular made them, and I can use RxAngular and StateAdapt if I want. But maybe I won't. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if there are any that... I don't think there are any that change both at the same time. There probably aren't. You can handle those, though, if there are, in an efficient way. But let's ignore that for now. I'm just going to copy all this code so I can have it close and just have it commented out. State handlers. I will do the logic first. So let's go up here. All right, one at a time. Okay, this one, don't need to implement. Set is a default reaction for all. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this join adapters thing, just for fun. I wanted to see that in action because you got set filters. That's set filter. What the? Why isn't that working? Oh, I think. Yeah, set filter. Yes. So that is a default state change, and it uses TypeScript magic to set the appropriate casing for that verb. Okay. So that first one's done. Insert. I believe what is the behavior like? Do things. Inserts at the end. I'm not sure I really like that, but I mean, if I were using the app, I'd prefer it to show up at the top, but whatever. We'll just do the same thing. So you can, man, if I created the list adapter already for StateAdapt, that would be nice, but I haven't. Okay, so we want to call this what? Create. So we got, let's see. This is where this is where the type inference comes from. So we're going to need to get that. Okay, what was this one? Why is it any? Why isn't it? Is it because it's created in here? Might be. Let's see if I have to move it up here. Yeah, apparently. So, whatever. And I'm going to name it To-Dos adapter. Don't think it matters, but and filter, I don't think there's another state change there, so I'll just leave it in line. Okay. So to-do, I was going to call it to-dos, why not? Okay, to-dos dot concat or spread, which one? I usually do spread, so I'm going to do that again. All right, to-do, and what's this one? To-do any. Wonder why it's not highlighting that. Okay, what does it get from the commands? Oh, just the text? Okay. All right. So it's just passing text. What? Wait. Oh, right. It's got this whole thing here. So, yeah, I'll just save it as text up here, or refer to it. Text. And I actually do like referring to the original type and not just typing string. It makes it more resilient. But I don't really care for the pick syntax. I just like grabbing it like that. Okay. Is there anything wrong with this? I don't think so. So I think we're done with that one. That's this. Yeah, it'll be easy to remember. They're all named the same, I think. So remove. It's going to pass ID. Oh, I think, yeah. In this one, it's got text. I think I'll grab it that same way. So it's not going to be to do text. It'll be, wait, how? I don't understand. How is the component doing it? What is that doing? So create. It's just sending text as a property. That might be an RxAngular thing. I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to, yeah. I'm not going to worry about sending the whole to-do object. Yeah. Well, this is the only thing they need to send, right? Because they just type the text. None of this else is defined. So, yeah, that should be fine. All right. Now, with ID, we're removing by ID. How does the component want to do it? Where do you remove? It's probably directly. Oops. Did I just... Event. Is that the ID? TypeScript isn't helping here. It's not clicking through either. So where is the remove method? Right here. Wait, this is just a string, isn't it? Why is it called to do instead of ID? Yeah, it's passing the entire to do. Oh, okay. So if I were to do, yeah, so it's just, so that's what pick is. It's not even the same syntax. What was I thinking? Yeah, that's, first time I looked at this code was like a week ago or something, and I just sort of skimmed through and I was like, oh, pick? Oh, I kind of knew what it was doing. Because you can pick multiple things, so yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, back to here. So it wants to send the entire to-do thing, and so, yeah, this is just going to be called remove. To-dos and ID, and that will be a to-do. And I don't care for the pick thing. I don't know what the point of that is. To-dos dot filter. Oops. Yeah, double naming. I don't like meaningless distinctions. Bob Martin hates it too. Okay, so to-do dot ID isn't the one that we are removing. Okay. Yeah, this logic here is going to be a little longer than the Angular one. So these utilities, I think they do help with that. So good for RxAngular for having those. I think RxAngular should be like a default library for all Angular library or all Angular projects, just for the regular stuff, like the DOM stuff. But this, like the utilities, if you already have it for the reactive stuff, like the template stuff, you might as well maybe have the utilities. So I don't know. I'm just gonna be harsher than I could be on StateAdapt. Okay, so that's remove. Okay, now we got update, and it's gonna send an entire thing here. And so why? Oh, we got this update utility. So this will be one of those map things. I do not have this yet. If I had a list adapter, this would probably be something I'd take care of, but okay. Map. I'm actually going to call this an update. This is an update. Oh, that name is taken because of the thing, the utility. I mean, it's going to be like a shadowed thing. Maybe that's all right. A little confusing possibly, but I like doing not equal first because it's the simpler case. Maybe I should just call this ID text and whatever. What was the last one? Done. Okay, so we got, if it's not, okay, so it's not ID, then just to do, else, see what that looks like. That's not too bad. Yeah. It doesn't look beautiful though. Whatever. That is fine. Okay, so that's done. And then this is done. So this is going to be toggle all actually. So it's just going to make toggle all. Oh, just makes them all true or all false, I guess. Why isn't, does this really toggle them? How is that toggling them? I'm so confused. How is this even doing it? What is happening? This is an RxAngular thing, I think. Let's see, toggle all. Yes, and that's either going to be true or false. How does this work? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set a breakpoint. Let's actually analyze this. Oops, I already had that open. Okay. What is this called? It's a service. That's all I need to hear. Okay, so that's my stuff. Down, toggle all. Where? Right here. Okay, this isn't going to help, is it? Well, it might help a little bit. So to-dos, one false, one true. And done is going to be false. Why? Where does that come from again? It comes from the component. Toggle all. Event target. Is this going to change to true next time? Let's see. What is it now? It's false, right? Yeah, false now. Why is it false? Got false true there. And what does this do? Like, yeah, let's set a breakpoint there. That'll be interesting. Okay, let's play. Are we here now? Yep, I think. No? I don't even know. Whoa. Oh, it's, wait a sec. Is this to-dos? And so this is hitting it for each single one. Okay, so that happened twice, but why is it 3 times? I'm confused. So hit it again. This will be true, I hope. True. How? I don't actually know. That's just UI state somehow. All right. Oh, that comes from the component. The individual component. So that event, it's smart. It's actually accurate. Okay, so what does this mean though? Okay, so cursors here should be, so if this is they're both false, and this is true. That means this is I think I know what's happening. This is the update, and this is selecting which to do. So this is just updating all of them. Oh, okay. That's actually really lame. really boring. Okay, I think yeah, and that's true for all of them. Okay, so I think I understand this. All right, so it's literally just passing up what to set them all as. Oh, this would be so easy if I had a list adapter that I keep talking about because I've kind of designed it more or less. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it. All right, so anyway, so this is the update. This is the filter. It kind of just is weird to have a filter that's always true. But anyway, let's call this toggle all. I'm not going to... Toggle all is I don't like that name for this. Or should we set all? Because it's not toggling. The function is not toggling. It's just obeying what it's given. So I'll just, for now, keep it the same. Okay, we got to-dos. Oh, is this done? Okay. Yeah. Fine. I'll just do it the way they do it. Okay, and then yeah, this is gonna do the same thing. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so that's that one. Okay, finally, now we got clear completed. I think I know what to do there. All right. Okay, so to-dos, that's what I've been calling it. And I don't need this nonsense. To-dos.filter. Done. And then it's just going to be not done. There it is. Okay. So let's take a step back and look at this. So this to-dos adapter is obviously the most interesting one because that's where all the structure is. And hang on. The reason this is so compact, you can add comments between these if you want, but having this as an object gives you a ton of flexibility. You can start from something inline inside of a component and copy and paste the whole thing elsewhere. Another benefit of these being object properties instead of class methods is you can do things like join adapters. So while I don't actually like having them so jammed together, it's not that bad, and the benefits you get from it are awesome. And then when you like zoom out, you can see everything all together. So it's I like minimal code, and it is kind of fluff. Everything other than what you have here, that it is fluff. So yeah. All right. What is next? It's the side effect handler. I already copied it, and this is how you hold things in StateAdapt. Oops. Hang on a second. There we go. Right. So, with RxAngular, this isn't a service, but it's tied to a component. All right? It's tied to a component. So, how do we... Right. So the life cycle of this state is going to be the same as the component itself. So this actually is not the right way to do this, because this subscription will, like, you're not going to call unsubscribe on it. So I think this would be a memory leak. I talked about this in my article series called Progressive Reactivity in Angular, and I suggested maybe doing a local storage type thing in the template, actually, because the DOM itself is a side effect, and it's unusual, but a component that sets what you give it as inputs as local storage would have the same lifecycle as the component it's in, and you could use the async pipe or whatever. So it'd be a really convenient and declarative way of doing this. But since we don't have that, what do I do? Another idea I had was to have special state paths, local storage, like that. And that would, so Redux DevTools, it would still show up. Redux. I think, yeah, something's weird. It still show up as local storage as the final location, but it would have like this magical side effect that it's kept in local storage, that it saves there. You'd still have to grab it and do this, but this would be like a side effect that would happen. And local storage is such a common one that I think I would do this. And then you wouldn't have to create a different declarative interface for local storage, because this is declarative, and a component in the template would be declarative. And if we look back at that, those rules that StateAdapt has, like, don't write callback functions and wrap imperative APIs with declarative ones. It sucks that local storage has to be imperatively told what to put in it. With the DOM, you can just declare what's going to go into the DOM. The template isn't the DOM. It's a representation of it. So why can't we have a representation of local storage? And then it'd be nice if you could, if there was like a representation of local storage, and you could, in where did it go? Yeah, here. If whatever that representation was, if you could right click and do inspect element, just like you do with the DOM, and then you can see your declaration that represents the template or local storage, and then find the file where it's located. That would be so nice. But instead we've got this thing where it can be set from anywhere at any time and is imperative, and that's garbage. So, all right, now what do I do? Well, here's what I'm going to do. In that article where I talked about local storage specifically in my Progressive Reactivity for Angular series, I suggested that a good temporary solution to this would be to just tack it on here and do a tap. Let's see, tap, is that good? All right, and that would be, well, no, that's not everything. This is all to-dos. This isn't the entire state. Okay, so that we don't have one of those yet. So I'm going to create it. I'm going to call it state, and this .store .state. Pipe and tap, and put that stuff in there. And I'm not sure why there are curly braces on this, but oh well, I'll keep it the same. Okay, this will work for this project because this is subscribed to. All right, So whatever. Yeah, I really want to try creating a local storage component, and I might just export that from my library because it comes up so often when doing StateAdapt, because StateAdapt wants to be fully declarative and reactive. Okay. And yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of objections to that because you might object to it because you don't want that concern to be part of the component layer, but this component, whether you like it or not, is aware of the state already, and these are not separate concerns. They are the same, and yeah, I honestly would just I'm still thinking about a bunch of patterns, but I think in general people want to separate things into horizontal layers way too much. And it's not just with single file components. I think that like your state management should be there too, in a way that's easy to move out if needed, like this. Okay, so yeah, this could easily be in the component, and then you could easily move it. But anyway, so we've got the store. Now we actually get to hook up some stuff. Actually, unfortunately, that's going to be boring. We're not going to have anything to do there. So the component can just directly reference things, or at a minimum, we can do it here with these things. So now I'm going to go ahead and erase everything and make the switch. I think it's ready. And these I'm going to keep around because I'm just going to assign them to the store, but this will be gone. Yeah, that's gone. Stateful. What is the deal with this? What is this? Stateful. Where does it come from? I'm afraid to click on it. Yeah, that's why I was afraid to click on it. Stateful comes from RxAngular state. What does it do? I'm going to keep it for now and see what happens when I remove it, but I'm going to get rid of these. UI actions. Where aren't the other actions here? They're at the bottom. Oh, these are all the commands. Factory create. So that okay. There's no equivalent. So state. I mean, all of it's state. So that is gone. We're going to do derived state soon. This is one to keep, I guess, since there is a place to put it. And it's only one. Okay. All right. Okay, then we got filtered to-dos. What do I do with these? Do I just... I'm going to just grab them from, directly. Okay, exposed view model. That will still be the same. Oh. Store.filter. Store.todos. Store.active to-dos, active to-dos. Why is it called that? Well, yeah, so I'm going to change that selector name. I forgot. It prepends the thing you put here when you do join adapters. It prepends this to them. So, yeah, obviously you wouldn't name, like if you're thinking about this in isolation, you wouldn't name it whatever. You wouldn't name it whatever to-dos, because this is the to-dos adapter. It's implied, so active. So to-dos active, to-dos completed. yeah, that's just how it goes. So it's kind of like Spanish or Portuguese with the adjective after. But okay, so next we got store dot filtered to dos. Okay. Oh yeah, that was a combined thing. And then we got store dot completed to dos completed. Makes sense. I'm going to swap those up because these are together. These. Yeah, I kind of don't like that adjectives end up being like that, but it's not the end of the world. All right, so we got all the commands now. It's a property. Okay, so let's see. So we got a to-do filter. Okay, so now we'll just do this dot store dot set filter. Create this dot store dot create to dos. Oh shoot. Create to dos. That's a weird consequence of join adapters. Remove. Same thing. Remove to dos. That is, I wonder. If that's all right. It's the same thing. Store dot update to dos. Toggle all. Toggle to dos all. Interesting. Yeah, I was worried about this. See, I did some improvements to StateAdapt for a while, and it's been a while. But I haven't really done a lot of projects on these recent updates. So I haven't actually seen a lot of this, but when I designed this, it's interesting. I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about this issue, about the adjective issue, because you would rather, honestly, the ideal name for this would be toggle all to dos, but toggle to dos all. You know what it's doing too. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's just awkward. The fact that it's able to generate it for you is pretty nice. I just wish that, I'll have to see how I feel about that. But that just might be one of those awkward parts of StateAdapt that never goes away. Okay, because the benefits are worth it. Clear, to-dos completed. Okay, so this looks. Was there any comments here that I missed? No, I don't think so. So this would be it then. Now we got to go here and see what types need to change. I knew this would need to change. What's wrong with this? Probably don't need that. Is that it? Is that it? No. To do. Oh. Okay. Well, we don't. I mean, it's obvious what property it's passing in, so I'm going to go change that. Oh, TypeScript isn't smart enough to do this? Okay, that's another downside of that. That sucks. Okay, that really sucks. Toggle all. Anyway. I was thinking about doing this anyway, but okay. And it's happy now. Okay, so wait, did that just reformat because I changed that? But other than that, it should be pretty minimal. I hope template type checking is on. But should I test it now? See what happens. Let's look at the build. Oh, it just did it. So, okay. Hang on. Okay, let's test it now. That worked. These are updating. Let's make sure it's in StateAdapt. Yep, I forgot I named it local storage. Let me just get rid of that. Right here. Okay. Okay, I did that. Let's refresh. It's persisting correctly. Let's set the filter to active. Now complete. Refresh. That's persisting correctly. Toggle all. That's working. Clear completed. Refresh. That worked. Enter. That added. So that's pretty nice that it just works. Yeah, I think that's all the behavior. So cool. That was pretty easy. I'm going to change this real quick. There we go. Using StateAdapt to manage state and RxAngular template to detect changes. All right. Nice. You know what? I am going to explore this and see what the zoneless stuff is all about. I want to actually see what's happening. So I'm going to do a test here. I wonder if this is like Svelte. I mean, that would be a miracle, but let's see. So we're going to do a test, and let's just make this a getter method, I guess, or get property, whatever. Okay, and we'll do a console log. How many times is this getting called? Getting test. It got called there. It got called there. Okay, so this isn't fine grained reactivity. It's just zoneless Angular. And so does that just mean it's marking it for check? Like this stuff here. Like what's the point? What is this actually doing? Is it like it's running change detection, isn't it? So let me try one more thing. Implements do check. Isn't that one of them? Why isn't it? Oh, right. You don't put the ng. So do check. There we go. ng do check. Hey, that was weird and convenient because it put 4 spaces as the tab. So that is pretty weird. All right. Console.log. I think this checks the parent. This will check how much the parent component is running change detection. So hopefully it's none. But let's see. All right, ng do check ran. It's not running anymore. Let's see what what is wrong with you? Huh? Explicit decorator. I don't remember. I don't remember what that's complaining about. I haven't seen that. Okay, let's see. I mean, this should be a decorator. So what's it talking about? A decorator for, you don't do decorators for lifecycle hooks. So I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Zone. It's a standalone component, and it's like kind of like a module. I don't know anything about zoneless Angular really. I just know that it's more performant, and reactivity enables it. So it's good in my book, but yeah, so I don't really know what that's about. I should look into it and get smarter on it. But it's not like Angular apps are like super slow. so there's not like a strong demand for it. But I want to push people towards more reactivity, and then it'll just be a natural thing that people can get. Okay, so I don't really know what that's about. So I will also get rid of this. Okay. All right. Now, let's clean things up so we can commit things. So I don't want this to be as part of the comparison. And that's the big thing. This, that probably shouldn't be in the comparison either. But I want it to be in the same commit. Otherwise, there's like inconsistency. So, okay. So I will go ahead and commit this. Change description. Okay, now it's time for statistics. All right. Get diff stat. Is that the right thing? I think it is. So 61 insertions, 119 deletions. Dang. How? What? I don't remember it being that extreme. Let me see. I'm like a little suspicious. Did I cheat? Did I do something stupid? I mean, it's working. I mean, this. I'm thinking about how I did those actions. So let's go down here. These right here. These I got rid of. Not really. I just renamed them. I didn't rename them. I just set them differently. Because this isn't the decoupling you want. You don't want to give, the freedom, the convenience of easily adding more imperative side effects. Each event should lead to one state change. So I am happy about that for sure. How much was that responsible for? That used to be 134 down to 104. So that's 31 lines. Okay, that's a big difference. That's 6 lines. Okay, I'm feeling okay about that. Totally okay with that. And then the initialize thing, that was called in one place. So let's count. 1 line there, maybe 2 if you count how it has to be separate. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 10 lines of code there. Here, I just had it be 4 lines. So that's another place. Okay, it's just, I guess, a consistent shrinking of everything. All right. And then view model, I kept it. I think it's boilerplate personally. What is this? I'm going to try removing this and see what happens. And then, the goal is to delete RxAngular state. So, yeah. Anyway, what else? So just got connecting the commands, and the commands are like implicit, like the type is inferred depending on what state changes are possible. So, yeah. And if anyone's unclear, if anyone's watching and they're unclear about imperative versus reactive, this is reactive, like this connect syntax. It's reactive, but it's also imperative because it's using an observable, but you still, like, if you count the number of imperative statements, I mean, this actually has more because the component's calling .create and then this is calling .create. But if you just, like, no matter what system you use, the template has to start with one imperative change. So the way you can think about this is the commands are created implicitly as part of the store. And if you need multiple stores to react to the same event, so the event needs to be independent, it's super simple to adapt StateAdapt syntax to react to an observable. That's the syntax I was preparing for earlier when I opened curly braces, because you can specify the state change and then the observable. It's the same thing as connecting. So it's just a way to be incremental with your syntax and be minimal as possible as you're developing, but also be able to easily keep it reactive if complexity increases. So anyway, I think the biggest thing that I'm possibly concerned with is something that I've always been a little annoyed at. It's just the compactness of these state change functions. And if we really wanted to, we could add comments between to keep it, because prettier won't preserve it unless there's a comment. And, would that make it nicer, or would it be annoying? Like, does that make it easier to read this? Like, kind of, because they're not all together. But I mean, once you're on a line, it's not that bad. It is annoying, I will admit. But the benefit you get from an object is, it's not that bad. It really is not that bad. But the benefit you get is the portability and how easy it is to start simple and incrementally add more logic. So anyway, the other iffy thing is the language on these, because this is called to-dos completed instead of completed to-dos. So adjectives, when you use this join adapters function, whatever the selector name is, that goes after it. So to-dos completed, to-dos active. And that's not the end of the world. These are more specific. They are drilling further down. And so maybe it's nicer from a perspective that you get to first you're grabbing to-dos and then a specific kind of to-dos. So maybe that's nice, but it is kind of awkward with the language. And I'm going to have to do this with more projects and see how I feel about it. But I don't think it's that bad overall. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, another thing, I got to use the where was that? Yes, derived state. Yeah, even I kept this comment. Maybe I can add my own comment. That probably seems appropriate to explain what join adapters does. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of just part of the framework. There weren't like explanations of what update was doing, or the connect method is just kind of part of it. These are kind of just like organizational comments, really. So, yeah. I guess I'm happy with this overall. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty crazy. So that's pretty cool. That's half of the code basically. RxAngular isn't bad. Like, imagine NGRX, what it would have been. It probably would have been like 150 deletions at least. Well, I've actually got graphs here with all the libraries. Yeah, RxAngular was one of the more minimal ones. Yeah. It's like, third most minimal. Yeah, even on this one, RxAngular was 155-ish. StateAdapt was just under 100. So I guess I shouldn't really be surprised. It's kind of just, yeah. Oh, well. Okay, yeah, so I still haven't found a project that is more minimal in another library than StateAdapt. I think StateAdapt is the most both reactive and minimal way to manage state. I could count the imperative statements, but I'm not going to. It's not that interesting. Okay. And so the overview of this explanation is we have a to-dos adapter that is only focused on managing to-dos themselves. It's not caring about filters or the parent state at all. It's just good at to-dos. And this can be shared anywhere. And so it's really flexible. You can change the property easily that's managing it. And I think with RxAngular you can too, just by renaming all these connect things, what they're connecting to. But anyway, with here you just change that in one place. To-dos and then TypeScript will yell at us because we've got everything messed up. Oh, it's not matching the parent state. So yeah, that is a limitation. That has to manage the parent state. But yeah, it's all connected. But anyway, and then you got the filter adapter, which is just this thing by itself, and it's just a basic set of state management tools. And I'm thinking in the future of adding like syntactic sugar to this, but it's fine. Basically, if you pass default state, I wouldn't call it initial state because the adapter is not supposed to be coupled to actual state. It's supposed to be a generic thing. But it would use that to grab default adapters for every state property so that you automatically get like a set filter, set whatever property, and then you get selectors for them too. That would be so nice, but that's complicated. I haven't really designed it yet. And the implementation is another thing too. So yeah, but anyway, so when you join them, you get the ability to keep defining things like in a waterfall. This is like a builder pattern, and you close it off with parentheses, and if it's arrow functions, you're defining selectors. If it's an object it's a different structure. If you want to do an update that changes multiple properties, and what it does is it does it efficiently. So it doesn't calculate a new state object for each sub state that you're changing. It calculates them all at the same time with one state update. So that was not too hard to implement. So that was nice. Okay. You know what? Okay. Anyway, so then we create an actual store. This is where actual state lives. So if we wanted to, we could create an entirely separate copy of this. And I don't know how you do that in RxAngular, but you can because it's reusable. It's a class. So anyway, this is where it becomes an actual store that's managing state. And this is just getting the state from the local storage. And this is handling a side effect. This is like backup plan. This is like plan C of how I would manage like a side effect like this. Because plan A, I would like a declarative API in the template that maybe a local storage component or something that you can just feed stuff into, and it handles a side effect because the DOM is a side effect too. So that wouldn't be too weird. Plan B would be if I added this capability, and then this is declarative, so this would kind of just end up being another side effect, just like the global Redux store is. So that would be fine. But plan C is to just throw it into the view model or whatever and just subscribe to it in a way where it'll unsubscribe when the component's destroyed. So, and then you just handle it with a tap operator, and there's only one subscription to this, so we don't have to worry about share or anything like that. Okay, so that's the view model, and then we just expose these state change functions from the store that were created, and that's it. So yeah, nice. Now I will delete RxState, or try to, and hope it works. I guess we're just deleting the state part. or the, yeah. All right, let's see what happens when we delete this. What happens? Let's start it up again and see if all hell breaks loose. It's building. It's done. All right, let's see if this... Yeah, I don't know what that did. What the... Why is it twice? Oh, that's just... I think that's states are equal. Is that behavior that just got added? I don't think so. It's just literally calling it twice, I think. Something to do with the animation. Is this how it was before? Let's get stash. And see. That's weird. Man, with all these other projects, I'm used to working with Vite. I guess it's not that much slower. Okay. Well, I don't even... Oh, it was being called twice. I remember I set breakpoints and it was being called too many times. So, yeah, I guess that's not... I don't remember what the other command is. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not a change in behavior. So I will go ahead and delete that then. Okay, and I hope, what else? RxState. Oh, we don't even need that. It's transformations. Got rid of those too. Don't need the map operator. Wish we didn't need the tap operator. So in the component, anything, let's just search the whole project. Oops. Oh, I forgot about an entire feature of RxState. An entire, yeah. Well, this is small, but I will do it in a separate video just because. No, I shouldn't. I already did an overview. Dang it, what do I do? I'll just tack it on this video. So just in the app component and to-do list. Ooh, action factory. I guess I don't need that anymore. Oh yeah, that was just a provider. So fine. That's equivalent to what I added at the app root. Okay, so we just got app component and to-do component. And that is actually my thing. So we are just about ready to remove RxAngular. First, I need to convert the to-do component. Okay. All right. This should not take long. I really hope it doesn't take long. So the to-do component is a template in here. Yes, it is. Good. All right. So we got VM. Let's just do the exact same thing. So is that, okay, what's the shape of the state first? Let's look at that. Where is it? It doesn't extend it. That is interesting. Okay, so apparently this is how it works. All right, so we got RxState here. And it's just to do and is editing. Okay, so how do I do this? Oof, these can stay the same. Get to do, why isn't this an observable? Is editing and to do, that's what we have. VM.isEditing. So the view model, where's the view model again? Oh, just this. Oh, it's the whole state. Okay. So why is this necessary? Why don't they just get it from the view model? vm.todo. Why is it just a forgotten? I think it's just a forgotten thing. It's like vestigial code. So I'm just going to comment it out and not have it be part of the comparison because that was an accident, I think. So I'm not going to worry about that. All right. So input, and we just set to state. Okay. So this isn't going to be very hard. All right. So let's just start. Okay. Let's just start with the store. StateAdapt. This is global state right here. Interesting. Yeah, it kind of doesn't make any difference though. So to do, and what's the initial state? This is, so wait, to do is optional? Where do they set initial state? It apparently has to be optional because it's going to be undefined at first until the input receives a to do. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to have that. As or to do. Okay. What's the issue with this? Oh, all right. Need to open up now. So now we're defining the adapter inline. What are the state changes? What is going on here? Is editing. So we've got frick. I hate side effects. Side effects suck. But I'll worry about it later. Okay, so we got toggle done. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of work to do with StateAdapt. So many opportunities. Okay, so toggle done. To do. I mean, it's just going to be. Gosh, I wish I already created a Boolean adapter. It's so easy to do. Okay, so it's just. Wait, what? Why is it? This isn't toggling. This is literally just grabbing stuff from the UI. That's a side effect, but I mean, this isn't a pure function. That bugs me. But I'm just going to copy it. So let's try join adapters again. So I have to do this nested stuff. I think I'm just going to copy everything the same style that they did it in. I just want to hurry and be done. It's late. And yeah. Okay, so toggle done. Toggle done will just be this. But this is state to do. I mean, no. Yeah. I have to do good old-fashioned spread syntax. Okay, that's toggle done. Let's see, now we got edit. Let's just keep that the same name. All right, that's edit. Oh, is editing. Oh yeah. That's the other issue with objects is it lets you set extra properties. Also, I don't think I did define state completely here. I'm going to actually define it separately. Okay. Is editing and to do. So that's good. All right. So edit, destroy. That's just an output. Update text. Okay. So we have to do, and we're setting it the whole state to this. So it takes in a to do. Right. It's called update text. So to do, yeah, is editing false? Why does updating text? What does that even mean? Does this get called when blur or key up? So that's updating. What? Oh, it's adding it. Wait, on blur it adds? I don't understand what is going on, but interesting. Update text. Yeah, I don't really know what that's doing. But anyway, so let's see. Yeah, so the other thing, so actually RxState RxAngular/state, I don't know what to call it. It might actually be more minimal than StateAdapt in this example because I have to centralize these state changes. Update text. So all the ways, like in order to be declarative, your container of state has to control itself. It has to have its own control. There's so much imperative stuff in this component. So, but at least, that's initial state that can be gotten rid of. So that's nice. I'm just going to town with this right now. Toggle done. It's gonna be the same thing. Store.toggle done. Okay. That is as good as we're gonna get because there's so many side effects. Edit. Here's one we can get rid of finally. So where are we going to complain about that? Where are we editing? Here we go. That's annoying. That's not complaining. Okay. Well, that should work. Store.edit. Okay. If it weren't for these stupid side effects. Okay, now how do I handle this side effect? So I'm just going to get rid of this by now. And this is just going to be store.state. Select, that's going to be like, that's going to have a distinct until changed. But I can already, actually, I don't think I have that selector. So I think I need to add a selector for is editing. This is another thing that would be nice to have boilerplate removed for. I don't have that. But anyway, when we do this, we're going to do store.isEditing. And that's that. Okay. And now we just need to figure out how to do that side effect. This is going to be like a tap. This is going to be the same thing that I did on the other one. But this one will have a share, actually. Share replay. Oh, man, I can't remember how to do this. Okay, so tap. Is editing. Do we ever use this anywhere? No, not really specifically, no. Okay, so this kind of has to be its own thing, doesn't it? So we'll just do an old-fashioned side effect. Using is a magical RxJS operator that lets you how many does it pass? I think it only uses one subscriber, no matter how many. Yeah, okay. So it lets you do side effects, basically, and it keeps the subscriptions the same. So we're going to do this. So it's going to return this, really. But when this gets subscribed to, it's going to subscribe to this too. So yeah, so you're only creating one subscription here. So I think this is perfect for this. It's just annoying. I hate side effects so much. Okay, this is just going to be a tap now. And we don't even need the result because it's filtered. So we'll do this. Okay. Now this is our side effect. And we get rid of the constructor. What's the deal? Oh, we need to subscribe. That's the syntax. Very verbose, very annoying. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, this store.set to do, is that one? Nope. Let's see, how do we set a to do then? I think we just need to call set to do. If we joined adapters, we need to do this, but state to do and comma. Yeah, I think RxAngular is going to beat on this one. It was far more imperative, though, in my defense. Okay. That's weird. All right. So I hope this works, although I don't even really understand the behavior all the way, so how do I know if it's going to work or not? I don't know. Anyway, this sucks. Reading done of to do. So how is it defining that initially? How was it defining that? RxAngular. Why did you have that initial state? Oh, that's just a to do. Did I? Well, I can just save that, but what was I have a colliding path. This should have been to-dos. Why is that colliding? It shouldn't be checking that. Is it initializing this multiple times? This is the list component. Where is the to-do component? Are there two of the, like, oh, this is each of them. Oh yeah, you can edit in line. I forgot about that whole thing. Oh. Okay. So this actually needs a unique ID for each of them. Can't apply update before to do is initialized. And that's because the store isn't even there. Because it's not being subscribed to before this wants to set it already. Is that it? This is This is annoying. I think I might know what to do. It's just annoying. Okay, so let me think. Let's debug this just to make sure this is what's happening. Yeah, that's the problem. So the first input value is coming through before the store is subscribed to, and the store is getting subscribed to when the you know, right here, that's when it's being subscribed to. So this doesn't happen yet, and so what do I do here? Well, this is annoying, but let's see. Let's call this. Let's see. To-do equals new source. So this is the reactive part that you would expect. This is where it's going to be similar to RxAngular. I'm just going to call it to-do. That's the convention that I've started doing, and then it's just going to do dot next. This is frustrating too, because it's just going to miss this because it's not subscribed yet. Oh, okay. This is what Ryan Carniato would get pissed at. So, but anyway, if we do this, we have to create the adapter separately now. Is there a way around to this? Well, you have to set the state. And because you're not setting it immediately, or because you have to wait for it to subscribe. Well, I can think of sort of a hacky way to do this, but it's it's not that bad. You can literally well, you can subscribe, but that won't subscribe to that. You can wait for it to be initialized. Hang on, I'm thinking. Yeah, this is the issue with reactive programming in Angular and a lot of just real world situations. It gets messy on the edges, like the inputs of components, things that, like if this was an observable, that would be like a behavior subject. That'd be ideal. But and I can do that. Yeah, I can make it originally behavior subject and then have it convert to a source with the toSource operator. And then this will always be there, and then when it subscribes, it'll, yeah, okay, so that will work. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to start it like that. Actually, it's going to be one thing, so no, it's not. It's going to start with the behavior subject. So what's the initial thing? It kind of doesn't matter. All right. And then this will just be this. Input dots not subscribe. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this syntax. I don't normally do this, but seems fun. This is just an operator, so you would do dot pipe otherwise. There's never going to be anything between these, I hope. But anyway, so now we can do adapter. Type of this dot initial state. Okay, I need to import this apparently. And that's going to be this thing, the state management stuff. So drag, except get rid of that. Oops, let's go down right here. Yes. Okay, so now, whoa. We actually did need that because I didn't drag this like I should have. But anyway, so this will be our sources now. So we're going to do set to do, or we haven't added our adapter to this yet. Adapter set to do. Why isn't that one? What's going on? Is there something wrong? There's something really wrong. Create adapter. Is this? Huh. Payload unknown. This has a payload, doesn't it? Oh. What's the deal? Is it how I did this? Let's switch it then. Pipe. I hope not. That would be really lame. What? That was it? TypeScript. Oh. They're not equivalent. You have to use pipe. Oh man, I've been saying crap to people. Fine-grained reactivity, asynchronous fine-grained reactivity primitive would be better than RxJS because the map operator, it's the first thing's called first. Okay, I just realized a bunch of things. Ah, man. Lame. Okay, well, thanks, TypeScript. You saved it. Well, that was just a TypeScript issue. So, whatever. All right. Oh, man. That's a hack you can do, apparently. All right. I forgot you can actually edit these. Can you really, though? Because cannot do structure property. What did I do? What did I click? I just clicked this. ID of undefined as it is undefined. So this is a bug with the other stuff I did. How did I not see this before? And let's refresh. Oh, actually, I think this is the to-do component. Maybe? Oh, it's this. It's coming from this component, and this would be a problem. Trying to emit, this. So, okay. So let me think how to do this. Because you can do it the stupid way and just sort of this.story.states, take one, subscribe, and do that. I'm so sick of doing everything imperatively all the time. Maybe I should use that trick where the output can be an observable. What would it be? I mean, what would you do? It would probably... So toggle done could be a source, an independent source. and you could call .next on it. And the state could react. The store could, and it could emit from the component by chaining off of it and mapping to the payload. Well, chaining off of what? Well, it would be with latest from, it wouldn't be take one, it would be switch map. So it gets a new thing every time you click it. All right, so I guess that's how I'm going to do this. Every time you want a to-do, it's going to start from a subject, I guess, and it's going to output as an observable. This is bizarre. I don't even like outputs being observables in Angular, but you know, I've been thinking about it with this app because this local component is sort of its own thing and it's managing its own state internally. And the result should go up as an event, right? So so that just means you have duplicate state internal to the component and then external when you sync it with this output event output. Yeah. So is that okay? I mean, it should be. It's not really reactive because the state isn't declarative. So it's in two different places. So, but it's being like synced with each other in a weird way. And they're both reacting to each other. So, I mean, that's not declarative, but anyway, so let me try this implementation, see if it works. Because the easy way would just be to subscribe, take one, emit with the result. But I'm going to do it the fun way. So let's take each of these things here and do it reactively. Oh, get to do, that's where it was being used. Oh, so no, that it will be removed now. Okay, so let's look at this. We got change and remove. Okay, so these are the only two. Okay, so this is actually fun. All right, so toggle done will have that state change. All right, so we're going to do a source. So this will be, I'm going to call it done toggle. New source. It's going to have a what? Void, I think. Okay, don't want to paste that. That is crazy. Okay, and then we'll have, let's call this an event name. Let's just do text update and do that. All right. Okay, now how do we define these outputs from these? Well, it's going to depend on, this is like upside down world. This is so weird. Okay, it's going to emit the to do each time. Okay, so we got done toggled, and destroy is another one. But that's just, I mean, so this actually will just not even, well, I actually do have to have that. So destroy, it will be, its own thing. Destroyed. Okay. Now we're going to have, let's see. These are kind of going to go together as one output. So this here, no, it was change. That's going to go up here now. And instead of an event emitter, it's going to be a merge of done toggled and text update. And it's going to switch map to this .store.todo. That's not a selector yet, but I can make it. If I join the stores, it would be state.todo. Now it should be there. It's not. Why isn't it? What's your deal? Is it referencing it before? Oh, right. Wait, no. Wait a sec. Oh, of course. Duh. Okay. Now we're going to map it from... Actually, we don't need to map anything. The switch map takes care of that. So actually just undo so it unimports that thing. Okay, so either of these, that's now an output. That is very interesting. So, okay, this is weird. So toggle done now gets to be reactive. So store, here you are. Done toggled. And what was the other one? Update text. That is a text update. Okay, destroy. It's simple. It will switch map as well and be led to that. So let's add this. What is this called? Update. Nope. Update text. Why isn't it? Oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, with these like object literals, sometimes TypeScript is a little annoying, but okay. And the template. I wish the template had those methods. Did they take in parameters? No, they did not. So literally just have to change those calls to, let's see, what's the fast way? Update text. So these will just be text update dot next. Okay, and I'm going to put those squished a little closer. And let's see. What was the other one? Toggle done. Yeah. Toggle done. Where are you? Okay. Done toggled. Dot next. What's up with the TypeScript? It's in the template. It's not really. And this is probably the weirdest feature I've converted to StateAdapt out of all the ones I've done. This is probably the weirdest. It's like, I don't know, usually you don't need something like this for local state, but I guess it doesn't hurt. It's just a little confusing. So, but honestly, the adapter, it should use the same to-do adapter. Like the list to-dos, there should be a to-do adapter there that gets imported into a list adapter and used down here. And like every interface should have one adapter for it, and then you can compose them into larger state management patterns. That's the goal. But anyway, what else do I have to do? I had to fix this. So pick, and why? Like what? Like whatever. This dot destroyed dot pipe switch map. This dot store dot to do. Man, I hope this works. So destroy. Where is that? Here it is. So destroyed dot next. That's interesting. Oh, destroy. That's not a good name for this, really. It should probably just be remove, because it sounds like a component thing. If it's destroy, it's not really destroying anything. It's just deleting it. So delete or remove would be good. Okay, so... Oh, man. That was weird. That was weird. But I guess I'm glad that Angular has these as they can be observables too. Let's test and see if it works. Let's hope it built. Yes, it built. So that worked. Okay, so what happened? Two things happened. So with to-dos, it removed to-dos. It removed one. That sucks. And to-do fired. So, I mean, this isn't wonderful. Like, ideally, you just have one event and multiple state changes. Oh, hey, look. Yeah, that's because it ended up. This is just like the life cycle of a store. There's no way to avoid this. It's just how you have to dynamically create stuff. So it's not, even though it's not a real event, it has to happen. Okay, can you edit this? I remember being able to edit things in line in some demo of this, but I don't think you could do this in the original either. So that's working. Just too much firing. Why is it firing? Infinite loop? Good. What? Infinite loop. That's an infinite loop. What is causing that? And why isn't that updating? Yeah, this is like a genuine infinite loop. It's like slow to update. Okay, I just refreshed. Yeah, oh gosh, this sucks. What is the deal with this? Oh, switch map. Take one. No, not take one. Okay, how do I do this then? It's outputting every time state changes. That is a problem. So it makes sense that this problem exists. Hang on. I guess this should be like a with latest from. And then a map. Okay, right. So we're going to have void as the first thing. And then we're going to have to do as the second thing. So we're just going to map to do. What is your deal? What? Oh, duh. What is this? Is it complaining it's being referred to? Yes, that's it. That's the problem I thought I would have with the other one, but anyway. So this will be the same thing here. Huh. That's interesting. Repetition. Okay, so this is a source. These have to be put down at the very end then, don't they? That's unfortunate. Oh, well. So all the sources go together. That's satisfying in some way. But unfortunately, these have to be down here. Kind of want to make a custom operator for these just because they're repeated. Yeah, I'm doing with to do. Maybe. Void, sure. Actually, I don't care what it is. Nay. This isn't actually saving anything that much, and it's kind of annoying. It's not worth it. If there were 3, I would do it, but it's not worth it. So I'm going to cancel that. I don't like repetition. Okay, well, this should work then. All right, no infinite loop, hopefully. And I swear that I used to be able to edit these in line in some other demo. Hey, no infinite loop. Good. With latest from, I guess that works. Yeah, that's the double firing that was the same in RxAngular, I think. So let's just destroy that one and add another one. So this is, it got added. So nice. Nice. It created it in here too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all working. Check on check. I already added one. Clear completed. That works. Finally. Rest. Okay. Yeah, I used to be able to edit this inline. I'm pretty sure that was a thing that could be done. So I'm going to real quick, I'm going to stash this and make sure. But this is going to be weird. Like, I don't really know what to expect. This could be a lot more code or less code. It's probably more code. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Let's see. Update text. That, like, hang on. Where? Oh. Here. There. Okay. This from the template. Oh, on blur. When do you get into it? ngIf is editing. Where does that get set? Oh, edit. Oh. On click store.edit. Double click. Oh. Ha ha ha. That's how it works. Okay. Awesome. Another error. Okay, let's see what the deal is with this. Native element? Oh, is this an issue? Undefined. This dot input. Where was that? I don't think this was implemented. No, it is. It is. So is it this that isn't working? Let's try it again. All right. This we got. Yeah, it should work. Undefined. What's the deal? I don't think this was working in. Who knows? Okay, so there's toggle. Where's edit? Or where's input? That's the important thing. It's right there. So this should be working. This should be working. Let's double check that it was working before. Get stash. Interesting. Okay, now we're here. So, I mean, there's nothing. I didn't change anything with this. So, not sure why it wouldn't be working. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't working here either. View child. Huh. Is it worth my time to fix this? Maybe, maybe not. Double click. Interesting. I've never used this before, but it's cool. Okay, it should be updated now. So was this other functionality just never tested with the RxAngular one? Probably not. Okay, so why isn't input ready? It's got view child. Maybe something to do like I don't remember. I remember there was like a breaking change with that at some point. Yeah, it wasn't that. Let's try that. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Huh. Let me Google it. So one potential issue is an ngIf. Is there oh, yeah, there we go. So at the time, okay, so if this were true, you could refer to this, but it never gets set somehow because it starts as false. So this gets hidden at first, and apparently the solution is to use view children. I'm not going to fix this. And not as part of the comparison. So finally, all right, I'm done with this part. Let's compare again. Okay. Now, let's just look at this file real quick and see what the damage is. Oh my gosh. 18 lines longer? That sucks. What is the main culprit? Oh, an import, a sprawling import. Let's see what happens when we get rid of the unused one. Whoa, I just deleted like 5 lines of code. How about this one? Whatever. All right. But that's not it. This is a big deal right here. It just sprawls out like this. Like if we wanted to do it, we're like split it up into 2 separate observables like they did. I'm going to do that. It's like this should save some code, maybe make it 1 line, and in some way this is cleaner anyway. Yeah, let's see what that does. I mean, that actually didn't really help anything. It goes to 118 and it was going to stop that. 118. So I mean that doesn't help. Okay. It was, yeah, what was it? What was the problem? Well, a lot of things. It was a lot of things. This was like very imperative before, and a lot of side effects. And side effects suck. I think that's the main thing with this. Anyway, it balances out the comparison. Not only does it include more total lines of code, but the ratio is just off on this. So is this the first feature that was more lines of code? I'm sure there was like a small feature here or there that was more lines of code in StateAdapt before, like marginally. But overall, I don't think I've seen a project that wasn't reduced. So yeah, there's just a lot of things like this hack I had to do to make sure that you could add a to-do and that the event would still be there. This actually may not be that uncommon of a thing that may have to be done if the subscriber subscribes too late. Like just some things happen and you can't have it be part of initial state because it happens sometime after the class is constructed, but before the state is being subscribed to. So that kind of sucks. I mean, one thing we could do is just have an artificial subscription, but that sucks. That wouldn't, managing that extra subscription on destroy, that would be annoying. So this is fine. I wonder what RxLet has to do with this. Is this different than the async pipe? Is this gonna, does that affect timing? I wonder how that works. Anyway, yeah, because by ng on init, it would have subscribed, and that's when the first component is received. Pretty sure. Yeah. So I think this is just a difference with RxLet. And it's okay. It's just, it's kind of a limitation in my mind. Yeah, and the purist inside me is like really bothered that you can't like the inputs have to be events. It's just bugs me a lot. I mean, I can't say that you should just output all events to the parent and have all state management in the parent, because in reality, you might want to do something like this. It might be easier, but dang, like how is this so much more lines of code? Well, I did the connect method, and yeah, they just did like a bunch of set states, but they have like these sprawling methods. And I don't know, I guess just doing it, the outputs, I think the outputs are the biggest difference. Having it be like this, and that necessitating this syntax, and all this, the sources too. I don't know. I guess it's a bunch of things. But anyway. Oh, and also I didn't get rid of RxState yet. So there's something I can do. Let's get rid of RxState. Oh, I didn't even get rid of it here yet. Oh, well, that was just... Okay. Extend, yeah, it's not doing anything. All right. So anyway, final still isn't really, it's like what, 117 now? Or wait, what? Before it was 112? Wait a sec. What? Was I miscounting before? Yeah, I was. What was I doing? I'll have to watch this video and see what ridiculous thing I was thinking. Anyway, yeah, like I couldn't really tell where all the extra syntax was coming. This is really the biggest change. Maybe 3 other lines of code here. It makes sense the total would be 6, not, what was I thinking? 30? Is that what I thought it was? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's late. That's why I need to just hurry and stop. Okay. What's the final count? That looks more reasonable. This lines up with that graph I showed in the last time I did this. When it was just the one, or yeah, when it was just one the file, I looked at the graph on the blog post and it looked about 50% more, and this is almost exactly 50%. Well, if we're adding 180, deleting 120, I guess that's 30% more. Yeah, so RxAngular was 30% more than StateAdapt. Anyway, I guess there's something to be said for... that's so bright. There's something to be said for... Gosh, these messy Redux actions. At least we have them, I guess. That's... I don't love this. Why is it firing twice? It was doing this with RxAngular, I think, so. But still, it's annoying. Okay. Well, I think that'll be it. All right. What do I think? I love RxAngular. I love how reactive it is. If you looked at how this would be done in other state management libraries, it'd be annoying. Not too annoying, because There are some pretty good ones, like NGX component store is pretty good. Just plain RxJS isn't bad. But anyway, RxAngular is really cool. So, yeah, right now it's my top choice other than StateAdapt. Except I like Redux DevTools and I like Selectors. I like NGRX still a lot. But so overall, I guess I'm not really surprised at these results. I have seen in previous projects that StateAdapt can get annoying to use when the environment isn't very good for reactivity itself. So like that can be route params, getting route params into a store. I struggled with that in the real world app I converted a while ago. You can go look at those struggles. Those were annoying and long, probably like 2 hours total of trying to figure out how to deal with route parameters with StateAdapt. And then I came up with some patterns that are acceptable, but I'm also just trying really hard to push for, I guess not so much today because there's nothing I can do about it, but in general, I like to try to make it so that actions are only fired when an event happens. I don't like an action firing to get state from one place in the global store to another place. But it's not as picky as NGRX is, because this, like, StateAdapt is designed to feel kind of like local state. It's just the annoying thing is cause it's just not declarative in general, because you have two of the same state. You have two copies of the same state, and they have to be synced with each other, and that's annoying. Just looking at Redux DevTools, you see two actions fired instead of one, because one was to actually do the thing that mattered, and the other was just transporting, copying, synchronizing. So that's like not ideal, but I can't think of a way around it really. So the real world gets a little messy, and that's okay, but ideally you want to avoid callback functions and imperative stuff. And I wish I should probably be a better example in these videos of how to use StateAdapt, because the way I envision people using StateAdapt is not putting up with imperative side effects, just making a declarative API, like a wrapper component for some side effect, and just having it. And David K, I don't remember what his last name at all, but he mentioned focus on inputs specifically, and in this one we had a focus side effect. This is the service. Let's go back here. We had a side effect of native element focus. But look at this. Every time this emitted, we called that. It's not confusing. It's not difficult. This could have been declarative, like creating a directive for focus. I should have done that. Hey, what if I did that? And the fact that it is accessing the native element, I mean, I haven't written very many directives, but it feels like you should be able to. I know in AngularJS you could access the native element, but that was like 6 years ago, so I don't know why I'm thinking about it still. I haven't written much in Angular 2+ with directives, but anyway, so I should probably be a better example for that, of creating these declarative APIs. So that it's so nice to use declarative APIs. You just plug it in, and it automatically handles it. You can just say focus equals is editing VM dot, right? This is weird. Not editing? I don't know. The logic doesn't matter, but oh, this is at the top. this is in a loop. No, this is a component for each thing. So if you're not editing, you get, what is this, view only? And then this is the real input. Yeah. So you'd put the directive on this, I guess. Yeah, ngIf is editing. Yeah. You'd put the directive on this. Yeah. So wait, why well, I guess focus can, well, you got on blur here that produces something. So you can't just say it's always going to be focused. The browser can cause blur to happen. It's just is editing changes to false when you blur, and so focus, the directive would be perfectly fine. It would literally be the same thing as what we have here. And you know, why isn't there a directive for focus? There probably is somewhere. So I could just install that, I guess, download that from npm. But you know, it would even be convenient with RxAngular, just without any reactivity. And then it would be an unfair advantage for StateAdapt if I did that just for mine. But, and that's the point. Like that's part of the reason I haven't been so proactive, is because I'm trying to generate these comparisons and be like really strict about not going the extra mile to make it extra declarative, and just kind of being lazy and just band-aiding things and just making things a little imperative still. And, you know, I could have done that here. I could have just done like a take one from the store. But, you know, this is more reactive, I guess. So anyway, so overall, the results I got aren't surprising. There aren't too many reactive utilities in the ecosystem. It's just, I mean, I think there are, but it's not. Like most of the state management patterns are so imperative that people don't really mind the imperative APIs that much. But with StateAdapt, it really is annoying. Like, you know, when the thing you want to do has a stupid imperative API. It just is really annoying. So that's part of the experience of using StateAdapt. And I think it overall is a good thing, because we should have more declarative APIs. It makes your code easier and cleaner. So anyway, I guess that's it for this video. I'm gonna have a bunch more, but hopefully, I almost feel like this is more for me than for anyone who would watch, but still, it could be interesting for somebody. So, all right, see you next time.